Welcome to episode 30. This is a mic check. This is a mic check. Mic check, mic check. Can you all hear us? Let's everyone say that. Let's go through. Andrew.
Hello.
Scott.
Hello, I am fixing the overlay.
Erica.
Yo, what's good?
Tanner.
Hi.
Ben. Hey. And I'm going to yell at my boyfriend and ask if he heard all that.
I heard it. I had the stream on.
Perfect. All right. Looking good, looking good. Okay, we are back. This is episode 30 of Campaign 5, What the Fae, the Odyssey of Chaos. I am Michael Jackson, and I am your MC of the season. And you have met my players who just did a sound check, so you watched that. So, yeah, that's them. But in case you don't know their characters, we are going to do a quick little, I'm calling it reintroductions. So first of all, we're just going to go through and I'm going to have people tell us their classes and levels. And I'll just start at the top. Andrew, what is Ursign's classes and levels?
Hello. Ursign is a multi-class ranger fighter. He is 11 levels into Swarm Keeper Ranger. And he is 3 knights into Echo Knight Fighter.
Scott.
Sharp Cheddarfield is a Warforged Artillerist Artificer level 13.
Inky. Erica.
Hi, Desiree is a level 14 Circle of Wildfire Druid.
Hot stuff. Tanner.
Sylvie is level 13 Weaver class, which is a homebrew, and a good way to think about it is a cross between a paladin and a bard. At least I think.
That's correct. I would agree as a person who made that. Thank you. Ben.
Hi, I play Tidbit Crimson, who's a level 13 Cleric of the Peace Domain.
Hot stuff. All right, friends, now I'm going to ask you some questions that I want you, the players, to answer for your characters. So I don't want the, oh, I'm being like humble. I want like, Andrew is the agent of Ursign, and he is trying to get that guy booked for a job in the way in which you answer these questions. So, like, think about it in that kind of way. So, starting with that example, Andrew, what are you known for on the battlefield, or what is Ursign known for on the battlefield?
Well, I think at the very beginning of the game, it was for running away, which was accurate. I like to believe that he he uses a majority ranged combat, but if he needs to become close combat, he has the ability to be able to knock one in his bow and get somebody real quick that way as well. But on top of that, it's getting other people's attention to look away from him while he is doing this with his echo.
Nice. On paper, it seemed, or like on the field, it would seem to be like a very casual thing, but it's quite complex the way in which you have mixed together the Echo Knight and the Swarm Keeper into like this blight play, and also you took the close the feat that allows you to not take disadvantage when making ranged attacks.
Yes, it's a fighting style. Because it's a fighter and a ranger. I have two fighting styles. One is just good archery. I get like a +1 or something to attack rolls, and then I don't get disadvantage in close quarters combat for ranged attacks.
Listen, one thing Andrew's going to do is build a character that does exactly what he said it does, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Second part of this question, what do you enjoy doing when you're not saving the world? What does Ursign enjoy doing when he's not saving the world? I'll say you.
Talking to trees, talking to plants, long strolls throughout the prairie. Let's see, anything else? He likes to talk to his good friend Agba. and really just relax. Like he's really gearing up for his retirement. He's ready. He's prepared for that. He had that mindset before coming onto this grand adventure.
Beautiful. And I feel like that kind of echoes how your character's mechanically Urson when you look at him, it's like an old dude who just kind of doesn't want to be there. And then as soon as initiative is rolled, that man is shooting and teleporting across the map like nobody's business. And you're like, whoa, that guy got some fire in him. So I do enjoy that. Moving on to our friend Scott. What are you known for on the battlefield? Speaking for Sharp slash
Sharp
Mel.
is known for moving through a battle, meaning he's got a really long movement speed of 40. He has the mobile feat, so he doesn't provoke opportunity attacks, so he literally can move through a battle to wherever he wants. And I think three things. The second thing would be for his companions that come up. They used to have cheese outfits on them, but ever since we went through a forest of fire, now they're just obviously robots named Gouda and different cheeses. And then also the third thing he's known for is whenever he does make attacks, they're always really big and do a lot of damage, and then he's moving again. So he gets where he needs to get, makes a huge impact, and then that's his thing.
I love that. He's Hot Wheels, okay? He's gonna hit it and go. I love that. Okay. And what do you enjoy doing when you're not saving the world? Or, whatever you are doing.
Okay, yeah, I would consider this the closest thing ever to saving the world. But even then, that's not even really the top priority of Sharp because he knows he doesn't need Faye. They're just getting off this realm. I liked dating the different food folk of silverware. There were a lot of great like popsicles and hot dogs. It's a little weird.
All those holes gotta get filled somehow,
They're much bigger than the scars from the acid on his mechanical body. But he liked dating. Did go to therapy a couple times. I think I mentioned it like a few episodes ago. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So there is like a social life. He uses the social life to gain insight and then roll in, make a big decision, roll out, and be like, see how it affects things. To gain. So yeah.
It's funny that he backdoors himself into not always caring, but at least showing compassion because he wants to know more about people so that he can use it to often get things from them. But
yeah,
people are like, man, he just really likes to ask questions and get to know me and remembers these things about me. And it's and so people do view in this positive light, and you're like, okay, whatever. And so that is a fun thing about you. Okay, perfect. Desiree, or Erica, actually. What are you known for on the battlefield?
I feel like Desiree is Misty Step personified because she leaves no trace. She blends in to most of her surroundings. That's a reason that she was such a successful spy is because literally no one noticed her ever. And she's lawful good, so she is not quite as much of a pacifist as Tidbit would be, but she leans towards not causing harm, and that's easy when you don't really stick out. But if she considers her life to be directly in threat or somebody that she cares about in threat, she's gonna fucking pop the fuck off with some fucking fiery shit. And that's all I have to say about that.
I love that. Also, I'm noticing a recurring theme for fire in this party that I don't think anybody talked about, and it's like, oh no, but three of you are, I would call obviously fire based, and that's funny. But okay, second part of that one for you. What do you enjoy doing when you're not saving the world?
I feel like anybody who has gotten to know Des at all would know that she has a fascination with literature, or reading and writing, learning as much as she can about anything and everything. She's a huge intellectual as well, which also helped her on the battlefield. But something that the party doesn't really know or hasn't been talked about yet about Des is in the past, before this mission started, she did have a kind of nasty habit of stalking. But she could totally play that off in her spyhood and everything. But there was a lot of patterns of that in her life that she found herself doing in her free time. But of course, it was only for the pursuit of knowledge.
Yeah, I think if Desiree wasn't aligned to a school and a system, she'd definitely have like from the TV show You energy. Because
Absolutely.
I feel like her spying is her just watching people and vigorously taking notes on everything they do, never talking to them, just writing things down about them.
And they never know because they never saw her, and that's
She's just the girl in the back, the girl in the bushes, who's actually just the girl is the bushes, and it's like, oh, that bush is following me. I
she's
love that.
kind of the sleeper agent, both physically and emotionally for the rest of the party. I feel like not only can she support them on the battlefield, but when they're in a rough time, they're kind of coming to Des.
She will ask questions and she will take notes. I do love that. Tanner, what are you known for on the battlefield?
I feel like Sylvie's known for either being that very frontline tank, or playing it a bit strategic in the back. Really depending on my mood and how I feel provoked or Sylvie feels provoked in the moment is how they're gonna react. And maybe casually dabbles in demonic magic, but that's here nor there.
Oh, who doesn't in this economy? Okay.
Right, mixture of fire and ice over here. So
Just gonna do what she needs, do what they need to do to survive. I hear
yeah.
you. What do you enjoy doing when you're not saving the world?
Oh, that's a
Whatever
weird
you
one
call
for
this.
Sylvie because, I'm not used to saving anything, really. Usually Sylvie's the perpetuator of a lot of, some would say, death. Not really like Sylvie doing it all the time, but gets it done, needless to say.
Your name is on the paperwork for sure.
Yeah, when I'm not battling, with my arms, I am tactically with my mind on others for fun.
So for the people at home, when not saving the world, you do enjoy sowing chaos. Got it. Okay,
That's one way to put
duality.
it.
Duality. Um, Ben, what are you known for on the battlefield?
Bubbles. Blindness.
Yep.
Banishment.
The
Those
three
are the
Bs.
three B. The fourth B would be bitching.
Yeah, that's the crown B.
And that is self-awareness. We know that's that 20 insight right there coming into play. We love that.
Tidbit's not there to have a good time. He's there to have a fast time and move on to other things.
What
Like,
do you
that's
enjoy
where our
doing?
characters blend right there.
There are some interesting overlaps of characters in just the most fun ways, I will say. Ben, what do you enjoy doing when you're not saving the world?
I think Tidbit's favorite activity is sitting face down at the bottom of a pond. Maybe eating while doing that, I don't know if that's possible for frogs. Okay, wait, this is a really big aside. Did you guys know that frogs can push their own eyes into their own, like they absorb them into their head to swallow?
Scary.
Like for fun?
Well, like not
Yeah,
all the
they
times.
like.
They suck their eyes in and then they push the food down their throat.
I feel like I would have addressed that at a breakfast if I knew that.
Oh, we
Well,
watched him do
Little
it.
dry,
that's
just
that's canon.
I don't like it.
horrific. Noted. Smooth
Learning a
transition
lot.
from that topic. But last one. Okay, back to the top with Andrew. Assuming reality as you know it does not crumble, how would you like to spend your ever after in this moment with what you as your character knows now?
I'd say like
What
maybe a
is
beach. Or like, well, he's not really a beach guy, but like, maybe like a nice cool forest. He's just chilling. He has like a tree house or something, a couple Mai Tais, just you ready. Yeah, he just he just wants to chill. He just wants to chill, not have any responsibilities, not feel like he has to do anything to save the world or people around them. Just yeah.
sounds like you like the people who are retiring, like go backpacking or go on cruises. You want to do things
Yeah.
just casually, moving out of
Mhm.
adventure and into like explorer. You just get
Yeah.
into things. Cute, kinky, love that. Scott, assuming reality as you know it does not crumble, how would you like to spend your ever after at this moment?
Like, if just in the moment that we're at, what I would.
Yeah, based on what you know now from your because you may learn new things when you get to actually choose your ever after. So in this moment, what you know, what does Sharp want to do with when this is over and he's living the rest of his life? What does that look like? I know you want to go to space, whatever. What do you want to do there besides going to space? Or
I kind of Sharp wants to fulfill the need to feel validated. He wants to feel validated. He wants to feel that he was not actually the worst model hung up on a wall that was made, but the new iPhone, the Android Plus Max Pro Advantage Amazon Prime. So he would want to not only be on the rocket that sends them back to their realm, but he wants to dictate how life works on the realm, because everybody's always trying to be nice all the time.
turn into Leo Skimpy for just a
Yeah.
second at the end there, and that was funny. Yeah, I love that.
Lawful evil, man. Lawful evil.
Yeah, it adds up. It adds up. Okay. Erica, assuming our reality as you know it does not crumble, how would you like to spend your ever after at this moment?
I feel like Desiree would be very torn because she's so perceptive that she would see these options in front of her as well. There's the way of going towards trying to forever prove herself, because of the distinction between alumni and graduates, wanting to prove that she is more than what she has been deemed to be. But then she also knows that if she becomes renowned, then that basically makes her job useless because everyone will know who she is. So it's is she gonna work hard for this thing that may or may not happen that's going to be a super short run, and she kind of feels a pull towards that. But now for the first time too, she is establishing relationships with people, and so she sees this alternate path where she imagines a commune in the Firefly Forest where people that have become close to her, which is something that she might treasure even more than that renownedness, coming together and forming their own colony that could work and thrive together, and even going back to what Ursine said, picturing him maybe being a part of that colony so he can enjoy his retirement and his Mai Tai,
Yeah, I think that is the big stress of growing up that Desiree is facing. Do I stay with what I know, or do I go out and do new things because the things I've learned while staying and protecting the things that I do know? That game of duty, and that's a beautiful journey to be on. And I'm excited to see what you end up deciding when that time comes. Tanner, assuming reality as you know it does not crumble, how would you like to spend your ever after at this moment?
Well, with my quote unquote mother being dead and me absorbing all her power, I may not need much more after that. So, I would like to see Sylvie pictured where she could never be out of pettiness, running the court of winter next to my new bestie because I make friends, Tidbit. He doesn't know it yet, but that's happening, and I'm making it happen. Sylvie.
Mic drop. Perfect. we'll have a boy with a plan. Ben, assuming all reality as you know it does not crumble, how would you like to spend your ever after?
It's Tidbit would want to just stay in a pond forever, but also thinks that they're about to be the new queen of the Fae. So I think it's more of a oh, the next 10 years of my life will be so fun, filled with slumber parties and bridge balls, and then I'll die. All excited for all of it.
what could go wrong with that? All right, that was all beautiful little insights, and that is the reintroduction to the party, to the new current Will of Asteri. Let the audience seep that in, soak it in. The characters pick up in the moment we left off. After some road travel, we encountered as I described, a custody battle of nature between a Vine Lord and a Thorn Dryad, which was handled by the party in some fundamental but not practical coven magic that erase the problem is, I feel the easiest way to summarize that situation. And the players find themselves back at the temple, prepping up for another night of rest. I have updated, I don't know if the map's actually on the right one. Hold on. just for our visual learners, I have updated our location on the map. We are deeper into the Firefly Forest. That is where the temple is set up. And we have 2 players left who need to do some highlighted scenes. So we are starting with Messy Messer. What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, just go to the top.
Yeah. So it's everyone's getting all cozy, and I done getting back from Desiree's room reading smut. I'm going to crawl in bed and pull out my little coin because I have someone that I desperately need to speak with, and I am going to, casually summon a devil.
And you have tried this before. You do know you have to go outside.
Yeah, I go outside, not to my room.
Yeah. So yeah, you
'Cause
go
Tidbit
outside.
prevents it.
That holy magic is just so divine.
Too holy.
And I want to get into in that moment, but you get out there and you kind of start to rub that coin. You kind of like just kind of take a short few paces into the forest, just so you're not at the front door. You start to rub that coin, and the whole theater start to happen. It's cold. It gets to that little mildly warm, hot. It starts to drip. It hits the ground and forms that pool of acid on the ground in the 5-foot space. It kind of dips into nothing, and then out crawls a black Abashi devil who I will put on the screen right now. You know her. You know him. Them. Non-binary icons. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm just drawing on this map. Lord. No. Delete that. Yes. I'm a tech savvy queen. Okay. Boom. Yumi appears out of a acidy portal, just straight from hell. You know him. You love him. Ew. What bitch? They say to you.
Yeah, I have a feeling that you know why the fuck you were called this go around, because you have information that I need.
Okay, so I don't read minds. So what information do you think that I have that you need? Is it about the mission you gave me last time? I don't really have many updates, but I can give you that. But this doesn't seem
Updates on that will be nice, but I feel like it's now shifted because I have a feeling that my mother's trying to perhaps merge our worlds.
Okay, so maybe you should go first.
I mean, this is all suspicion, and I need what you know in order to back it up.
So we are talking about the mom thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why you can't. The heat came in kind of wild. So since I've been looking
I'm angry.
You're right, not at me. So let's on the same team. They kind of choke on the word team. And look at that coin that you still do have in your hand because it reappears, and they're just like they're bound to you. It's not really how this works. And they kind of look at you. Yeah, I kind of mentioned there was some weirdness happening with the soul levels in hell, and I did find out that it's coming from the 5th level. Don't know if you know much about hells and the layers. Kind of political and a tinge elemental. It's not all hot down here. That is a misconception, so don't be fooled.
Yeah, that's the cold level, right? The 5th level?
Yes. You don't need an insight check. They are very shocked that you knew that. And so they're like, yes, Stygia. It's been getting a higher influx of souls than normal, which is weird because the guy who runs that is locked in a block of ice, so he's not doing it. We think someone's doing it for him. And I think you might know.
I know them well.
It's doing that.
Yeah. Okay, so I was right.
Well, so you are worried that she, is trying to bring some hell to Earth, or rather the Fae. Let me be accurate here.
All the same.
Yeah, except the part where that's happened already. There's a little part.
What do you mean a little part?
there's a little part of Stygia in the Fae somewhere. I don't know. Is there a really cold place that like don't visit often?
Yeah.
Stygia's a frozen
Yeah.
wasteland that of unbearable
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah. I know a person there.
So she
Yeah.
just seems that you're,
Yeah.
and you kind of are having that moment where like it's like, oh, and you're both just like silently realize, and you're like, yeah.
We're having our exactly moment with each other.
Yeah. So I did my part. Information for you. What can you do with that for me, or in general?
I mean, are you wanting that to happen?
I'm not really from Stygia, so like I don't really.
Yeah.
That's kind of low on my. I'm layer 1. Things that happen that don't really pertain to me. It is interesting that like it's messing with quotas, so like that's not like a good thing because then I have to work harder. But like that's
So it's funny that you say it's really only happening within that concentrated spot. I feel like over my travels I've encountered areas where these primordial influencers are. It kind of blurs the line of dimension there. And I feel like if things were to merge, it would be with the first level of hell.
it is going to roll. He has some recognition of the words primordial princes. And so you catch there's some that word is like something he's like, I've heard tell of that. I don't. And then he comes in. I don't think it really works that way. The planes are weird. If bad things happen in hell, it wouldn't really actually matter because it's always just kind of shitty here. But also,
Yeah.
will we know that bad things are happening in hell? It's kind of like, do good things happen in the celestial realm? Everything's kind of good there. So like, would they notice if it just got a little less good for a short time? Material plane, the Fae, like that's a more tangible space. The elemental planes as well. And I know that they were banished, kind of like Tiamat was banished, but they went, and he kind of like does this, and he's like, but she went, and it's just different
This
direction.
mean?
They expanded out. They didn't. Tiamat still exists. Tiamat is the guardian of first level of hell. She's the Fae, the first Fae born. The primordial princes they've expanded into bigger things. They are now no longer just primordial princes. They are respective realms. They are hot. They are cold. They are earth. They are water. They are these things because that's when they got banished. They just kept expanding. There was nothing else to stop them. They are just these primordial essences. Tiamat is a being.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's good context for the primordial princes, for sure. Because now they've sent their children, which are the primordial influencers, who I'm having to, like, suck up into my core eventually. I'll get one. Someone else got one.
I mean, if you learn anything from the Lord of the 5th level, send your kids if you cannot. And it seems like that's what they did. They just sent out other things to do their bidding. Things that benefit from listening to them because they are attached to them regardless.
Yeah, I've been one of those. In that current situation, relinquishing that, going to murder her. That's decided. You can help. Yeah. No?
Your BB was a problem when I thought she was just a bitch.
Yeah.
Her relationship with the 5th level just puts that oh so far out of my pay grade, and as I mentioned, don't care. So I'm trying to get out of hell, not deeper into it. So I don't want to help do that with you, for you, in any way, shape, or form.
Sylvie like holds the coin. I don't know that you have much choice.
No, I know, but I just wanted to be clear and on the
Oh
record
yeah,
that
you
I
can hate
don't
everything that I
want
tell
to
you to
do.
do. That's fine. Yes,
One day, I hope you die,
I understand that.
and I hope you come to hell.
As I am getting out of my situationship now, I hope one day you do as well with my death.
Maybe I'll
May
learn
it be
from you.
beautiful. Maybe.
I'll just kill our captors.
Never know. But I
Oh,
do appreciate you in this moment. You're
you've still given
pretty.
me so little. Oh, so little. Can you stop?
Well,
Your
maybe I
mom?
could
I
bring
don't.
you from the first level of hell in one of these instances of like something. Maybe there's a way out for you. Maybe you don't have to stay in the hell.
They kind of look at their hand in a passing glance. They kind of like their eyes go down to their hands. This isn't a thing I can really get out of. Tiamat has me contractually bound to say. And unfortunately, I do need that contractual obligation. I just don't want to be in the contractual obligation. I just want the results of it, which she just keeps from me. But
Do you have this contract?
not, no, she keeps the contracts in
She
her
keeps the
hoard.
contracts.
Yes.
But you could recite it for me? Because there's always a loophole.
No, I can't recite it for you because to prevent certain loopholes, I can't really speak about the contract in
Blatant
so many
terms.
details. Yes.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
one day, perhaps she will stop moving the goalpost and then I'll be free. Hasn't happened yet. And it's, what year is it?
Fuck if I know. You think I pay attention to that? Like I worship the god of time or something. Jesus.
Oh, they've given up on time. Got it. Maybe I
Long
don't want
ago.
to come back, actually. Okay.
Well, actually, he might not be that bad. He gave me a little gift.
Who?
The god of time gave me a gift.
Is that like a metaphor? Because you're like alive and time's a gift?
To you, perhaps, yeah.
Can I go now?
Yeah, bye. Flips the coin.
Thank you. Just get sucked up into the nothingness. Do you do anything before you head back?
Just stare and ponder now. At least for 5 to 10 minutes, realizing what's happening. And then I go to sleep.
As you stare and ponder, make me a perception check.
No, I'm the only one out here. That's my. That'll be good. Oh, I have a +2, but that'll be a 21.
Um, if only they didn't roll a nat 20. So you don't notice a tiny creature fly into your ear. You don't get the weird vibe of someone watching that conversation happening. You feel absolutely normal until the moment you lay down to try to go to rest, and there's just this little like laughing. It's like in your head. You don't know where it's coming from. You can't like you get it feels like someone outside of your room is laughing and you want to tell them to stop. And you go outside and you keep looking, but like there's nothing happening. But it's telepathic, but there is no receiver
Oh, it's
that you
probably
can like
just
pick up.
Desiree reading her books. She just gets really happy like that sometimes.
And you just hear this chat like this little giggling that happens throughout the night. And then we move on to Ben. Ben, where do we find Tidbit in his temple scene?
So Tidbit has been sitting, floating in the pond just above eye level. Sees Sylvie walk out of Dez's room, waits about an hour and a half, and then starts to like climb the walls all sneaky to Dez's room and just like crack it open, pop in, look around, go like, "Oh, hey, Sharp." I assume we're sleeping.
Yeah,
Right,
Des is definitely asleep.
So, damn it. Right, you're here. Okay. Well, this could be good. Well, I was gonna wake her up and kind of interrupt everybody's, well, just Dez's. I have a question. It's kind of important, but maybe it would be helpful to get a different perspective. Yes. Yes, this could be good. Would you wake her up? It feels rude if I do it.
All right. Can you wait at least another 5 minutes? She's at the second part of her REM cycle. I want to get her right at the end. Otherwise, she's going to wake up with this weird... She gives more information if she passes it.
Sure. How do you know this?
She's a very obvious sleeper. You know, her body kind of moves and forms the emotion stuff. You can almost paint a scene sometimes. Whereas Ursine, I know it likes wood. Flat as a log.
Huh.
Hard as to read. Oh, wait a minute. She ended early. Hold on 1 second. And I'm going to roll right over to Dez's face. Psst, Dez. Dez.
It's time to go already.
No. I'm just waking you up because Tidbit wants to ask you a question, and then you can go right back to sleep. Hold on. Roll over to Tidbit. There you go, buddy.
On the other side. Hey. Um.
Good morning. I think.
It's 3 a.m.
Well, then that would constitute as morning, I guess. So, good
Oh,
morning.
yes.
Is this some sort of emergency? I'm a little startled.
You're good at magic, and well, uh, you know how I was studying vengeance, and well, I had a thought, and I just well, I want to enact vengeance on someone, right? And I figured, well, to do that, I need to cause them something horrible that's not death, because death is the final piece, which makes it the worst one. But so I figured, let's take away a nice thing from them, like the feeling of the breeze on your skin. And I was looking into the magic that my god provides, and I could like burn their skin off with a sunbeam, but I'm worried that might kill someone, so I was wondering if you could tell me if I put a sunbeam on someone, will they die?
I, I, I think I would have to statistically know a little bit more about the individual that you might be hurling this sunbeam at, but my brain leads me to go for yes. It probably would kill them.
Oh.
I'm
Oh, are you
thinking maybe.
sure?
I mean, maybe if it's somebody like Summer Song, they might stand a good chance, but I think if you're trying to take out your vengeance on maybe the next person we come across, then that would probably definitely kill them. I think maybe
Well,
you should start with something smaller, maybe like saying something unkind or I'm not sure. This really isn't my specialty. Well, maybe Sharp is here. Maybe you could practice with him. I mean, not to come off as rude or anything, but sometimes unkind comments can be your specialty.
Teach about a
well,
roast.
well, what do you think, Sharp? Do you think, do you prefer Null now? I've never asked, but
I eventually am going to get the cheese back, so Sharp's a good cover, you know? I mean, you understand.
well, what do you think? Do you think
Vengeance?
this would kill someone? And I just cast Sunbeam straight up.
Does it work in here?
Yeah.
Where is it going in the
I have to
room?
look up the spell.
You're like destroying parts of the walls?
I guess just straight up, you know.
Like this would go to
That's
like
a lot
the
of radiant
border,
damage.
like so I imagine inside walls would like be destroyed, but like the exterior of the magic shell wouldn't.
It might bounce. I don't know if it bounces.
Please don't let it bounce.
The excitement in your voice about that.
Yeah, it's kind of like you shoot like a command mayo wave. So like you like it's 5 feet wide, then it's 60 feet long. So you kind of just like point a direction, and it's like a high beam laser pointer just like shoots out of your hand. That whatever you pointed at is scorched. It's seared. I hope it was a wall and not a friend.
It was the ceiling.
Yeah, you hit the ceiling, and it hits it, and it does the damage, but also it's so bright that everyone's like, yeah, and like a kind of a flashbang effect. But then when that light goes off, there's like it is blackened where you hit it, and you're like, huh? And everyone sees that. It's shot out of his hand.
The books, at least, but yeah, I do conclude that would definitely kill somebody.
But what if they killed the Queen of the Fae? And, that sounds super strong.
Well,
also, to be clear about what's happening in this moment, he's like a inexperienced guy in a gun range, because that's a concentration spell that he can continue to use. So his finger is glowing. It's like he's got a minute of a really hot finger that if he points, it could just go off. So just be warned.
I'm rolling right over to your face.
What do you think?
I'm gonna like grab your hair and stare right to the barrel. Have you been able to do this whole time?
Yeah.
You gotta do that.
But what if it doesn't? I don't know. I feel like that's missing out on a core part of what vengeance is supposed to be.
Like enjoying their pain? You're sick.
Oh no, not their pain, their lack of peace.
I mean, historically, vengeance is taken upon people that you believe have done an extreme wrongdoing to you. So, I mean, committing that act might feel a little bit better in the moment if you feel like you might be kind of overcoming something emotionally.
So I should just kind of wait until I find him and then just kind of gut instinct it? Because usually my gut instinct is pretty bad.
Well, let's save the sunbeam for maybe a moment, like this person who killed the queen. I think that might be an appropriate action in that moment. But then vengeance is all about circumstance in a way. Some people might deserve smaller acts of vengeance for smaller wrongdoings as opposed to major wrongdoing like that.
I don't know really anything else weaker than this, so what do I do for that?
Well,
Do I...
once again, you can't choose to fight with your words, even though that might not be something I would suggest. It could make you feel a little bit better in the moment.
like saying... fuck?
Well, with an expletive like that, it's usually followed with, a noun or a person that it's directed as, so you might need to add a you to the end of your fuck.
Oh, I don't want to do that to anybody, but...
Well, once again, this is all speaking not in actual, like, seriousness. This is all kind of like a metaphor. If you were to tell somebody "fuck you," it doesn't mean that you actually would want to do something like that. Of course, I'm getting embarrassed just at the thought of talking about something like that with you guys. But no, it's more like I want you to die in a way of vengeance.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you so much. I think this has been very illuminating. Oh. I'll have that fixed tomorrow. Just not, I could fix it when I cast it again, but that's just gonna be burned for a bit.
Well, I was just planning on sleeping for the rest of the night. I personally won't be engaging in any acts of vengeance. At least
that's-
tonight.
That's fair. That's fair. Do you want us to like knock you out or something? Or I don't know if I have magical sleep. That'd probably be better. Sorry, I'm a little bit amped. I woke up and had 3 Red Bulls.
Don't worry.
No, I don't.
Sharp's gonna cast cat nap and a 3rd level spell. Let me pull up the stats.
Yeah, I gotta hit that 3rd REM cycle.
And go back out.
I was gonna put you into
Okay, you make a calming gesture, a one action casting time. Up to 3 willing creatures of your choice that you can see within range fall unconscious for the spell's duration, which is 10 minutes. The spell ends on a target early if it takes damage or if someone uses an action to make it stop. So I imagine I can put you to sleep and hopefully you're tired enough at 3 a.m. to remain asleep.
Yes.
Good.
Are you just targeting Dez, or are you targeting Dez and Tidbit?
Okay, I will answer Tidbit. Do you also want to go sleep? Before you go to sleep, I just gotta say, you have grown so much from when you were a little fucking tadpole. I'm so proud of you.
Saw me. Did you know me when I was?
I'm gonna turn a little bit to put my robot hand on his shoulder. I see you now, Tidbit, and I'm gonna poke his little belly.
And I see you. And although you haven't grown, you've actually technically shrank by losing several inches of fake cheese.
You're right.
I appreciate you coming along this journey.
I appreciate you coming along on this journey. And I just want to let you know, I trust you, Tidbit. I actually trust you. Is that funny?
No, not no. This is good. This is good. I saw something horrible in a different world. God sent me a message that said forbidden yaoi.
I don't understand the reference in the context of my existence.
Me neither.
However, I realize, I don't really. Tidbit's kind of stunned for, or Tidbit, Sharp. Never mind. Listen, you just gotta finger blast people. The finger. You gotta shoot the people in the battle. I'm.
Okay, bang.
Are you doing it?
Yeah.
It's another death
60
spot.
line. Yeah. The bright light flashes off.
I gotta stop. I gotta stop.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Anyways, I'm just gonna cast on both of them catnap because I don't know what else to do. I'm gonna help Dez like get back under her blanket because she just like plopped on it. Just put her back and put it back on. And then take Tidbit and go down to the pond and like swim down and like go in and shut his little door.
Tidbit, as you start to drift off, it as you're being carried in your dream, you feel like you're being carried by Orcus, your giant. He's not a giant, but he's big. Your Goliath armorer from your party, who typically carried you around because you didn't like to walk, and he liked to be close to you because it made him cooler. And as you kind of to go to sleep, your brain is kind of sitting on Orcus and Syndra, who you've often never related to. You didn't really talk to them much. You just always did your job in the waking world. You didn't really do a lot of like the sleep things because in simplest terms, you didn't have to study for anything ever. It was always just like it was easy for you. But in this moment, you think of Syndra and Orcus and how they used to talk about Orcus used to talk about studying in the sense of like making sure he never does a misstep. Syndra used to talk about practice in this sense of like cathartic release. She used to go to the dream place and she used to just beat the hell out of things. She was your artillerist and she like did it. She never spoke. She was always there. She didn't care that you were the peace walker. She thought it was more annoying than anything because it made more people look at her and she hated that. But also her being really fucking good at her job made people look at her as well. So she was always just like annoyed that people, very Shikamaru energy. She's like, I hate that I'm this talented and you all know that I'm this talented. But next to you, it's like, at least you guys care about him more, but in her proximity, she didn't like it. But you kind of think about that, and so you know that you could, if you wanted to, will yourself into a dream place to work through some of those big issues, and also spell theory. If you want to like throw some things that hurt things in a metaphysical kind of real space to see how things could go, that would be the place to do it, as you've heard people talk about, but you never had to because you don't let people get hurt. So as you dream, you do have the ability to work that into your dream cycle if you wish. You're not going to roleplay that, but you just do know you have that power.
I think that's what Tib is doing then. Is like, okay, amped up on Red Bull, he got forced to sleep, so he's gonna take out that energy in the dream worlds.
Yeah, just for our friends at home, Red Bull in the Feywild, these these like tiny little red peppers in the shape of bulls, kind of like a jalapeno, but instead of hot, it's just adrenaline. It's just like and they just grow in the Fey. They just grow little Red Bulls, little Red Bulls. But yes, you do that hyped up. And everyone can go and take their rest except for our friend Sylvie, who does not have a restful sleep because somebody will not stop laughing. Who is just giggling away in this house? Damn, it does. It is a thin voice. You do think Dez as the person. And you think about Dez as that person up until the moment you are sitting at the breakfast table with everyone else and you have not gotten any kind of sleep. And someone says something funny and Dez actually does laugh. And action.
I've been laughing all night, Des. At what?
It's actually me.
No, it's
Yeah,
you.
this
You
is
laughed.
me
You laughed
speaking to
this
you.
time. Yeah, you laughed this time at the table. You have not been laughing all night, and also you have witnesses because you were with two other people who saw you at some point in the night, and Sharp can help out. But yeah, you've been accused of laughing throughout the night, to which you're very confused by. But
Well, I was woken up with a little bit of a disturbance, but I can't recall laughing at all. I do apologize if I disturbed you at all. That truly wasn't my intention.
Oh. Well, if you weren't, I've actually never heard Ursine laugh. Ursine, will you laugh?
Ha ha ha. I'm
This
sorry.
definitely wasn't you either.
I feel like I found out that everybody's been hanging out without me, and that it's hard for me to laugh at that point.
That's fair. That's sad.
What were you talking about? He watched you so much last night.
Yeah, FOMO. It's unexplainable.
Oh, okay. Well, basically, all that went down is just everybody got up and was talking. Oh, I think a big one, though, is Tidbit can blow a fucking hole through the entire place with his finger.
That's unprecedented.
You do damage?
Oh, a lot.
I mean, the proof is on the ceiling in my room.
Definitely rushing in there.
No, I'll get rid of that tomorrow. Okay.
there are two searing scorch marks in Dez's room.
5 foot holes.
I'm just like, woof. You can feel the magic that radiates off of them, Sylvie.
I had no idea you were capable of this.
And now I never will be again. I've unprepared that spell.
Why?
I've learned my lesson. I think that might, in fact, kill someone. And I wish to suck all of the peace that they could possibly have in their life away from them, but I don't wish to kill them because that will give them their final and most lasting peace. Yes, I said this all last night. It's not my fault you weren't
but
there.
sometimes death is not
You
peaceful.
didn't invite us.
Sharp rolls into the pond.
Well, to be fair, I was also not invited. I was awoken and happened to be in the situation.
It must be nice.
I ate a very spicy midnight snack, and it kind of just got me in a mood. So
spicy snacks at night will do that.
All right. Sharp's gonna come back out of the pond, roll up. It's at a moment to scream underwater. Hopefully nobody heard. Listen, we're all coming upon some stuff. We're gonna have to kick ass. We're talking like influencers that get sucked into your belly, okay? And this is connected to the gods. This is bigger than one person's piece or another person's piece. We are the spearheaders of all of this disappearing or not. Listen, I don't really care about it, but Tidbit, you have to be there to blast people to smithereens so we can get to the end. Just like you
Why
can
do
count
I-
on... Yes?
Preach,
Why do
Sharp,
I
preach.
have to blast people? The last one we found was just dying on their own.
That's
Because
fair.
you don't know if you don't blast them and then they don't just turn around and blast you.
I could also just banish them and then they're gone.
They come
Sylvie,
Also
back.
fair.
it sounds like there's a little kid
They
who
come
is
back.
saying the same thing that Sharp is saying, but just like in a smaller, slightly delayed, higher pitched voice. Like a little kid who just like is trying to speak with him that you can hear in your head. That is making it like hard to listen to Sharp when he speaks. But continue. You hear that though. No one else hears anything. Sylvie hears that.
I mean, what do you mean they come back? People don't come back when they're banished. They're just gone, right? Like,
No, they
No.
come back.
what do you? What?
Have you never stuck around a little while after you banish someone, or do you just automatically leave?
You just kind of move on because like nothing else is gonna happen. They're just gone.
Yeah, they came back. They're out there. They know you did
Who
that.
came back?
Everyone you banished. Yeah.
Everyone? Oh no!
Sometimes
Well, yeah,
Oh
sometimes they do.
no!
it's nuanced.
Des,
See,
I
now
have
you
to
need
call
the
like
beam
3
spell.
teachers.
Also,
Okay.
Sharp, why do you sound like that?
Why do I sound like what?
Like you're all delayed or something.
I feel like there's a little bit of racism happening at the moment, and I'm not exactly comfortable with this. So if we could just move that along.
What,
No,
because he's a
not-
robot? Is that why you said that, Earth sign?
it's a little
That's
racially
exactly what
insensitive.
you were pointing out,
It's a little
right?
insensitive. I mean,
No.
I know you don't mean any harm, so I'm not offended. But some people, you know,
Oh.
would
It
find that
might
offensive.
be mechanical.
See, that's the racism that you're trying to justify by just saying the racist part. You know, it's
Is
like
that not like a body part for you?
Yes, but
You
you
know,
don't
are you
say,
saying-
look,
are you
you just
saying,
got,
like,
you just a white
body
skin.
or
You know,
bot?
that's the same thing. But I don't care.
I don't want to
honestly.
play devil's advocate because I serve God, but
We know.
Our kind old ranger here does pick favored foes based on their race.
Ooh. Tidbit has a point, Mr. Racist.
It's not necessarily based off of race, because
Did you pick like a whole race or something?
I did. Yes, that is true.
And to be fair,
But that's not necessarily the requirements for it.
There are
don't
some good
know.
ones, okay?
I don't know about you guys, but I do get certain benefits because of my race.
See, benefits. I wasn't punching down. I'm punching up. He's
Like
better
abilities.
than me. Earth
Like I guess you
sign.
could rephrase it as an ability. Okay.
Okay,
But anyways,
it's an
look,
ability.
we're all in this together, all right? Just as we need Tidbit's finger, just as we need Sylvie's slit throat right in the front, just like we need Des reading the fuck out of them books and feeling anxiety about the world healing she's about to do, we also need you, Earth Sign. All right? There's always in this world gonna be a tree that you can fucking talk to.
I hope
Maybe.
so. Deforestation is a problem.
Yes.
But
That's
we're working against it.
right. All right, so we good? You're gonna finger blast?
What did I miss?
You're gonna get that
No, we can't finger
spell
blast
back?
anymore.
You're talking to me.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh,
But why not, Tidbit? We need you to murder some things occasionally.
I'm
I
working
think
my way
it's
through the
time.
catalog little by little, and then I'll find one that suits me.
Are you finding
Just
the
a
deadliest?
little. He wants to hurt them real bad, but not kill them. The harm spell is honestly the perfect one. I feel like. It's
Mm.
like
Yeah, but
never too much.
we already used that one, so
Oh, can't repeat. Okay, I see.
Didn't feel right.
yeah, it didn't feel quite right.
My apologies. My apologies.
They were killed so quick after. I felt responsible.
Oh God. Love that for us. Anything else before you all pack up to head on out for the next leg of your?
we got a
your
long
journey?
ways to go. Give me your plates. We gotta go.
Whew, jeez. Sylvie, as everything's being cleaned up, you hear, the prettier the face, the deeper the rot. It just starts repeating like a mantra in your head. And you start looking around, you're trying to find who is saying it. And you're like, it's getting to the point where you're like staring at people's mouths, being like,
Oh, that's definitely what I'm doing. I'm eyeballing everyone. I'm like, where is it coming from?
You also can throw detect magic on. You know, people can like do weird things if you want to like get. I don't know how much you like are trying to look into it, but you can like see if someone's casting spells at you or in your direction. You can try to like do it that way as well. But I won't put words to your mouth. Do you want to cast detect magic? I'll say.
Not yet. That was my thought, but I want to wait until the temple's gone so I don't get anything kerfuffled. So once the temple's gone, detect magic's on.
Okay, great. As everything's getting packed up, Sharp just does a little bit of the cleaning up. Which does he have to do that? It's hard to tell. This place is real, but also not real because things have been since you've been in the temple. Your rooms have gotten more specific to you. There are more things in there than they were like when you first got here. Was like just like a palette, a fake sink that was a mirror. Now there's like more things to each person as they like keep staying in the same room and the spell is being cast over and over again as Tidbit is just growing to know you all a little bit more subconsciously. And you, all that said and done, you head on outside of the temple and it pops out of existence. I would love my survival and or nature rolls from our two guides. Not a nat one. We've had two nat ones back to back. I'm just saying. I circled them. It's really important. And then, Tanner, you are welcome to activate that detect magic. No, she did not.
You're not gonna believe this.
Erica!
Erica.
Erica!
It's a 12! But it's an out one. It's an out one.
Erica.
Her son's like, listen here, guys. I rolled a 36.
I got a 13.
Oh! Did you also roll a nat one?
I rolled a 3.
It's man.
And I'm hearing voices.
Yes.
And I'm in my home turf. That's the worst problem. What's going on?
And I'm in a Yowie with a frog.
Everyone starts to move. No one knows any different from, Ursine rolling a 28 and Desiree rolling a nat 1 to them rolling a 12 and a 13. No one can feel that. They always you just trust in them, and then when things go astray, they go astray.
13's not terrible.
It's not. I will give you that. It's not terrible. Or the DC, but not terrible either. As you all start to move out, Sylvie, you combat detect magic. You start to look around. Look at your friends. You look at the surrounding. You don't see anything that is. You obviously see things that are magical. You don't see anything that is out of the ordinary. You don't see any spells lingering from your friends. You see that there is that. Something you do notice is that weird magic that you spotted way back when you were dealing with the primordial prince or the primal influencer of Earth that you saw, then it went out and you saw going into Earth Simon that you didn't see after that. You see it very dimly, a very like not solid color, but like it's like almost translucent. You see that energy inside of him building up. That primordial essence is accruing inside of him. You see the blights have a lot of magic wrapped around them as they now often are staying in this like interlocked state instead of being 3 individual blights. They're like now this like simian blight teen thing going on. There's a lot of like magic in that, both natural and divine, which is interesting. The rest of the party has their normal magical things going on about them, but you do not see anything that would lead you to the cause of this, what you are now considering a migraine, as it's like wow, because it's been going on for you for like hitting hour 10 of just like.
Yeah, I'm keeping the detect magic on as long as I am still hearing these things because I'm like, there's something out there.
Yeah. And as you enter into that hysteria, it's 8:30, so it's bathroom time, y'all. Good guy for a bathroom break? Bladders. Did you gasp like that? What's happening? Andrew, what's happening?
I'm just excited.
Oh, he's like, I love bathroom breaks.
Bathroom time.
We'll be right back, my friend. It's time for a bathroom break. We're back from the bathroom, back from the bathroom, back from the bathroom. We're back from the bathroom, man. You gather it. It's a whole song I could have done, but the party has closed their temple to the gods. They have activated their spells to look for who is haunting them, and to no avail. Sylvie is still being plagued by the quote, the prettier the face, the deeper the rot, giggle, 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 over and over in their head. That only they can hear, and they cannot find the source of this sound. Desiree, you note that as you get outside, it is hotter than, like, it feels, and this is a weird thing to say, because it's always hot in the court of summer, right? Everyone else feels hot. Desiree, you feel like it's like the heat just feels like maybe hotter than usual. Like it's just like something in you is like, it just like feels a little weird. And like you as a fire-based being sitting in something hot, you just are aware of that, like those weird minute changes in like the environment wherever it's happening. You just note that there is, it's hotter than usual, which is weird to you because it's always just hot consistently in the court of summer. But you all start to move on into your travels. We are being led by 12 and a 13, which will give us a longer journey, but we will get where we're going, as the party does know that they are using oh Jesus, general information for the party that they do know is that they're using the mountains to the west as a kind of guideline to keep going north, and they're aiming for the Humming Bridge, which is the bridge that connects one part of the Court of Summer to the other part being the side that has the Statue City on it. And you can't miss it because it's a giant chasm. The only thing that crosses that chasm is a bridge. So you are looking for that, and so you're just using the mountains to your west, and you know you're heading north. And also Ursine has Ursine has the fire in him that is pulling him in the direction as well, that is helping lead him. But then that is comboed with the idea that Desiree knows that you need to be aiming for this bridge. So just kind of like that is the pull between the two of you, is like where we know we're going instinctually and where we know we need to go geographically. And so you start to move across the map. And instead of highlights that I asked you about, I'll be presenting some ideas to you all that I've been thinking about. So Ursine, as you are on your travels, you've got this new blight teen that is just eager to do something. You can tell that there's idle energy in them that also is maybe replicated in you, in the sense of that primal energy that you maybe in the back of your mind have been wanting to like play with a little bit to see what can be done. But you have these blight teens in front of you, and you start to like run little like practice drills with them. It's like, you know, you hit something, then they like that marks the target, they go and hit it. You hit something, and then they move you to a different place, kind of working through like the different things that they are able to do. As this new form for them represents the level up in that class and the increased abilities that your blight got in general, or your echo got. No, your swarm got. That's what it is. Your swarm got from leveling up. And so you kind of start moving through those things, and you see that there is no like hesitation. Before with the blights, it was like you were training them. Now it is very much they are trained. They are doing everything that you want to do, to the point where it feels almost kind of like easy for you to do this stuff. It's like you're not even worried about it. So you're thinking of ways to like one up this training exercise. Does anything come to mind as you are looking at your simian styled friend in this forest with the power to control earth and nature at your fingertips?
Well, I feel like they are big now, which might make them a little bit more of a target. And I know that like mechanically that's not really like a thing unless like they're in echo form. But maybe just trying to hide their presence a little bit more, or move a little bit, because they're in this like gorilla-y form, like moving a little bit more gracefully, and moving with a little bit more mindfulness, and yeah, trying to like blend
Give me a survival.
Sure.
Survival. That'd be like how you're trying to train these guys with advantage because these are your homies. They've been blessed. You recently have this level up. You're feeling good about it.
Got a natural 20.
Ooh.
Bringing it up to a 30.
Sheesh. You can tell kind of like you give them the commands and you see that there's like you bring them back to you and they like kind of stand and like they're like it's a giant gorilla, so it's sitting and also looks like it's standing because it's big as hell. But it's like at the seated position, ready for you to take the commands, and you kind of tell it what to do, and you see this recognition on its face, and then it kind of like from that seated position, kind of just like shudders and splits into three. And they're still medium creatures, but they are just in slimmer form when they are uh separated, so they're just a little bit more conspicuous. They don't have that simian form. They look like three humanoids versus a gorilla-like beast. And then they kind of like start doing the same drills again, but this time versus when they were like in the gorilla and they moved as a unit, like kind of like football style, hitting things and like running through stuff. Now they are in these split forms, and when you shoot and attack a tree, you don't even see where they come from, but you see three different attacks come from a different place that converge on the location. So now they're like understanding that you want them to not be an upfront fight, you want them to be more range, and so they switch to like this sleek design and using ranged attacks that will ideally always converge on the target that you mark from wherever they are, because they are magically linked to you as well as they are emotionally linked to you.
I'm imagining like if anybody's seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Golden Wind, the Mista's Sex Pistols.
Making a note.
Golden.
I gotta recommend it. It's fantastic. They're cute little bullets that like hit each other to like get like crazy angles and stuff.
Okay. I love that. And then is there anything, so you had that moment of like getting them to, or willing them to should change the way in which they were handling this problem. Reverse inciting that on yourself and thinking about the power you hold. Is there anything that you want to do in this moment while you're getting them to try new things? You have your bow in your hand, and that's how you're using to mark these shots, but you also know you have this power brewing inside of you. Is there anything you would like to do? Anything that Ursa would like to do or try while he has this moment of like playing with his blights in a new way?
Maybe something that Ursine can do with his echo is shoot from the echo's vantage point. So maybe having the blights like point out like targets while he's like sort of taken cover or like behind cover, can't fully see a target.
Perfect. Yeah, so you start to get them to do the shots, and you are joining into the rotation of like being one of the blights versus being the one who commands them. Is that what I'm understanding? Like you wanted to like, instead of you doing the main shot, someone else can do it, and then in theory you are now joining in the
Yeah.
with the other ones. Yeah. And that works very well. Make me a actually I do. Where's that? As you start to get into this flow of like switching off between who is doing who's like doing the called shot and who is like doing the echo shot, you get to the point where you're kind of moving into it. It becomes it's super easier than you anticipated it to be, because also you know where your blights are, because one, they're trained, but also you have your tremor sense going constantly. You can like you know where they are in space, so you can like intuitize when they are moving, who's going to shoot, so you like got this extra thing, and they're starting to pick that up from you. And as you start to do that, you kind of like get into this like cool flow state, and you start to, instead of like shooting your arrow to call the shot, you start to like look at places you want to hit, and like little you start to grow targets, essentially like little plant like tree kind of targets like pop up, and then all the blights shoot at it, and then you turn again and one appears in a different space while you're not moving. You're like putting these things in different spaces, and they are like hitting them in all kind of like in crazy skill level. And it's like you're just popping them as you're like giving them this training course. And while that's happening, you kind of like feel this magic growing inside of you as you start to tap into your natural elements. You have you just advancing in this primal soul. You unlock the Meld with Stone spell and the Investiture of Stone spell. Investiture of Stone is the important one here. It is not concentration, and you can use it at will. There are some things that are important about that spell. It's you can move through the ground as if it was air. So you basically have a burrow speed. And when things are within 15 feet of you, you can make them make a save, and they will become prone. And then you have resistance to bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing damage. All that is listed in the Investiture of Stone spell. You just don't have to worry about the concentration, and it is at will as you tap into earth magic, and you kind of stand there and you realize that the stones are like rolling around you. Grass is like just like growing around you. You're just like, you feel very, you're like, damn, that's how Desiree must feel. Like you just feel like you've always been like cool with the earth, but now it's like, man, earth fucks with me heavily, and it's like very apparent now. And so you just have this like dirt and rocks just like gliding around you as you like feel this command over it. And then Meld with Stone lets you move into stone in a very peaceful and meditative way. You are safe in there. You can't hear things outside of it. It's actually harder to hear things outside of it. It just takes 5 movement speed to like get out of that stone, but it's a as close to retirement as you might get while in the field. So if you can find some earth or stone, you can just have a respite. And that spell lasts 8 hours, and also at will. So you can just have moments of respite when you need to, because earth is always with you. And so you kind of like go through that moment while dealing with your blights and blighteens, and kind of like have that experience of leveling up in a not leveling up kind of way. Any questions or weirdness? I threw a lot of words at you at the end there, but those are 2 spells that you can look up, and all the words are also there.
Yeah. No, I'm good. Thank you.
Of course, thank you. Oh, we jump over to our gentle parent of the party, as I see it, Mr. Null. Gosh, he makes breakfast. He makes sure everyone gets out of the house on time. He keeps them on track. He tries to make his comments nice, but we know he wants to tell you that you're stupid. How is Null feeling? You know, you got all these people around you that someone mentioned it was like, how do you know like how I sleep? And you're like, oh, and you just like casually listed off things about their sleep pattern that everyone else would probably be very shocked to learn. The person who was the person being observed is probably very shocked to learn this level of expertise. I know it comes from a place of like, I am a spy and I'm learning my targets. Is there anywhere in there that it feels, at least with this group, that it's backdoored you into actually caring about these people? Or are you still on the level of like, I just need them to get?
Well, I think yes, because there's a certain level of committing to the bit. And if you commit to the bit for too long, you start to mentally start to fade. It takes a lot of intelligence to know that it's not real. So I think this has been going on long enough. And it's also, Sharp created his own missions and he got messages from Van Greech, but he left Van Greech.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like a huge decision he's making that also is something Van Greech would love. So he's riding this huge high, and because of that like power trip a little bit, I think it's forcing him to be a little more open and receptive to what they're saying, and it's actually making an impact, and he's actually starting to consider how other people might feel regardless of an immediate objective.
Yeah, it's funny that he's always been on a team, and it's
Mhm.
like in these moments he's learning to be on a team, and it's like that's funny. That's character growth. The thing I have written for you as well is Noel the free agent. How do you feel being? You kind of dabbled into that a little bit with what you were saying, but like as you are in the Fae, which is like where the Warforged want to go, which was also like the thing that you wanted to do, and now you're here, you're in this place, you know like information about the thing, you're on your way to do the thing. Is there any part of you that's like, now that there is this world of possibility versus this impossible task you were chasing previously, that makes you interested in other things outside of what you were doing before you came to the Fae?
Yeah, definitely. I think the prospect of getting best case scenario accepted, put on a rocket, and sent back to an unknown place. I'm already in an unknown place. And it's already crazy here. How's it going to be at that place? It was already crazy the place I was pretending to be, and it was crazy from the place that I escaped. So, having people who actually know my real identity and who haven't just destroyed me in pursuit of their own goals, I don't know. Free agent's still free, but we got shit to do. And that's my masculine cover up for emotion of like, I like these guys. I love what's happening.
Perfect, which does drive me into my next thing, which I have called Null the Fae. I feel like, as you mentioned, you've been a part of parties or collectives this entire time, but often I feel, and not to put words into Null's mouth, he feels like a black sheep of a lot of those things. He's always like working hard, but like doesn't get a lot of recognition. And then there's this party in which you aren't always being nice. You aren't always like, you're not doing the things that you kind of were previously taught to do. You're just being yourself, and people are more receptive to you now than they were previously, and they know the weird things you want to do, and people like don't really care. Does that make you feel, in a non-racial way, more human as you're like developing these like more?
Of course, because people don't treat me different. People aren't scared of like the unknown based off prejudice of previous things they were told. Now that they get to experience, they're like, oh, there's actually nothing to be afraid of. He can be scary to other people and can do a lot of damage and mean, but so far he's trustworthy and you see why he does what he does. So, I don't know. I kind of understand that and see that in them. Oh my god, I'm going to oil up.
Yeah, but last button I'm gonna press. Oh wait, no, I just lost the sentence in my head.
But also, I just want to say
Exactly.
this reflection here, which is probably not where I'm at, I'm getting close, is only exacerbated by this, like, obsession with Tidbit. And it's like basically Tidbit represents purity and naivete. And I
Yeah.
just want to protect it because it's never going to learn and just bounce everything off around it so nothing hurts.
That is beautiful and poetic. The last thing I will ask is, have your perceptions of the Fae changed now that you are in the Fae? Are there any things that you like thought, just like are different now that you're in the Fae versus having studied the Fae from books and hearsay versus being here now, being like, oh,
Yes, I mean, I lived it where the Fey creatures are now, except they have preservatives, so their lifespans are way longer, so their consciousness and intelligence builds up way more. But they're stories of when they were dumb and lived quick lives in the Fae, and it was idyllic because there wasn't a lot of data. So, yeah, I thought it was more idyllic. I didn't think it was as dangerous. I didn't think there were giant monsters. Thought there'd be small tricksters, and I'm the master of tricks.
Uh, perfect. All right, I will stop interrogating you and move on to the next person. Desiree, or Erica rather. Desiree found in her Santa sack of books. I feel like you go through it often as you're like reading them. That you always like organize them, stack them in that sack, and then the neat piles are made, and you kind of throw them on your back, and it's back to chaos. But you always do like set them, stack them up. You go through those books that morning as you're like getting them ready to put in your sack, and you see a book that you hadn't seen before, and it's not, or you had this book in the room and you're now on the road, obviously, but you picked it up in there and you recognize it wasn't one of your books, and it wasn't a like published book. And the thing that stopped you from opening it and reading it in that moment was the stress of realizing what it was, which was great grand Desandra's journal that has somehow got snuck in there. And your insight's good enough that you see some singe marks just on the edges of that book, like a hot hand was holding that thing somewhere and put it there. And your brain just, lingers over to that familiar of yours who, in recent times since you have been doing things, has gained this, you've noted this weird level of sentience that you aren't sure if it was there before and you didn't notice, or if it's been growing in modern time. But it's like waking up and seeing it on top of you already versus like you summoning it out, or like it doing things without you actually commanding it. And it's like, are you real, or are you like a thing that I control? And that line is getting a little more blurry as you kind of progress, but also you're getting stronger. Things are happening. But you have that book, that journal in front of you, and you open it to the first couple of pages, and it says, owned by Desandra Elmara. And you realize really quickly that, it runs in the family. This diary has a table of contents in it. It's like written out to like different like chapters that she has put in this book of things that she's written down about. And I'll just list some of those tabs you see and allow you to pick one if you care enough to. But in this book, it says one of the tabs is New Chord, which was a historical moment. Will of Asteri versus Asgarath. Unfinished Psalms. The Key Change, which is an historical event, Combo Magic, Turning the Scales, and then there's like a bunch of other ones but those are the ones that like grab your attention on like this page of like,
The Will of Asteri one and the Turning the Scales one, those are gonna pique her interest more out of the other ones to prioritize.
Yes, Will of Asteri versus Asgarath and Turning of the Scales. Which would you like to choose first?
We'll do the Will of Asteri one because it sounded like that would have chronologically been first, and that's how her brain works.
DM inspiration, because you are accurate in that assumption. That is chronologically correct. So mark that down. Thank you. Will of Asteri versus versus Asgarath is. Hold on. Now my actual tabs. Will of Asteri versus Asgarath. Yes, I believe this to be the one, because you picked two that actually like closely related. This is an account of the events that happened. When the Will of Asteri came together, when Desandra and the Will of Asteri, which you note through this text was Desandra pushing an agenda using the military powers that she had for other things to go against Tiamat after she learned that Asgarath, after she learned that Asgarath had played her. And so it's going into the detail of how she went about getting people, how she became the Asgarath, and she Asgarathed everyone else. So she like took all the people of the Will of Asteri and was like, oh, we need to get rid of Asgarath. And she got the subsect of people to move with her, and then they, through many years of trials and tribulations, set up a movement against him and removing him from the attachment to the Will of Asteri, which you note ultimately caused the fall of the Will of Asteri. There was nothing that kept the people together to do their job anymore once the Primordial Princess went away, and then also Tiamat, which would have been the next like big bad, went away, and then they didn't view Asgarath as necessarily a bad guy at that time, at least the general populace of the Will of Asteri. So everyone just kind of like stopped caring is a bad word, but like they just like accepted that they won and just like were hoping that, you know, they wouldn't have to deal with it in their lifetime. And for the most part, it worked out. But this small group continued on to hunt down or try to hunt down and stop Asgrath. And as you learn it, as you go into Turning of a New Scale, that is exactly what that chapter is about. It is about the actual binding and entrapment of Asgrath in Asgrath's cave that happened many years after that, then propped Asgrath coming out and attacking the Kingdom of Symphony. But you learn that Dysandra was a part of that core group that not only stopped the Will of Mystery, so thousands of years ago, she did that, and then it took her about 1,000 years to get enough power and people to bind Asgrath to his cave before the Asgrathies show up and they're like, no, let me save Daddy. And then they break him out and he goes on his rampage, which then bursts another god. And so it's funny how I think the shocking thing is you see that your life is directly tied to the history that you are actually so obsessed with. It's like, oh, that's my ancestor right there doing this pivotal thing. Oh, that's them again. Oh, that's them again. And also it's that weird thing of being an elf. It's not like, oh, that's my grandma, that's my great grandma, that's my great great grandma. They lived for hundreds of years. And also your grandma was a druid, so she like lived in that magical land. So them hoes lived extra long. So she was out here just plotting vengeance for a very long time. And so you kind of learn the in a funny way, you learn the power of vengeance because that is what that is what Dysandra learned when she was turned on by Asgrath, and she was like, "Bet you wanna play games? I'll show you." And then she took everything. You know, she made this attempt to take everything from Asgrath, but also, unfortunately, you know what she doesn't know. Those actions then led to Asgrath doing what he did, and the whole world going to where it is, which is hard to say if it's a good or bad thing because now you exist and you're doing all this stuff, but a lot of lives were lost, a lot of things were changed. But she kept her word. Your granny was a capital G. And that there's a smile on your face truly in this moment as you're like, which I feel like gives Desiree some confidence as she reads through this of like, oh, you really do get to choose your destiny. Like you can't always choose what happens to you, but you definitely get to choose how you respond to those things. And if you take a note from your grandma, change the world. That's what she did. And then also also while this was happening, that she built a family. She turned this curse that she got from Tiamat into the thing that would build up this giant grove that she learned to in some way repower and mix with the Druid Grove to make this everlasting tree to protect all her family. So even when she died, she was still protecting everyone she loved. It's like that's in your blood. And so I think as you move through Firefly Forest in a place where you're most powerful, that is why you get the nat one. You are so enraptured in the only thing else that could pull you out of the world around you is that there is more world in this world that you didn't even expect, and you're attached to it. So I think that is a nice reason to get a nat one, in my opinion. And after I word vomit all that at you, any questions about it? Anything you need to clarify or clear up?
No, I took hella notes. I was typing fast as fuck while you were talking.
Perfect. And if you do need to get anything else out of that, by all means, ask me, and I'm sure I'll bring up things that I think are important later on. So I'm gonna keep it moving. We'll go to Tanner. I'll let him have a time. Tanner. You are walking. You're flying. You know, we know you don't walk. You are flying, and it's just that moment of like everyone can hear you, like just like having a bad time. You're just like verbally having a bad time because of this thing that no one else is experiencing. And so you're just like, which makes you more upset because you're like, it's real. And everyone's like, yeah, okay. And you can tell that it's like, they're saying it for your sake because they're like, really. And also,
I can tell.
You've looked, you're like, you also don't, you're like, what the fuck is this? Who is doing this? You know, mom comes to mind because you're in pain and it seems like it's a thing, but also you're like, this is never a thing that she's done to me. This doesn't really seem like her MO, like waking hours. Like that's weird.
Not her thing.
But you kind of are stuck in that moment. But even as you think about mom, I think you are also find your little tab here. You think about breakfast, but not this breakfast you had. Well, you're trying to think about breakfast. That little voice in your head, who's still the prettier the face, the deeper the rot. It's just going over and over again. You think back to breakfast 2 mornings ago. And that sounds accurate. It was when Tidbit had the dream about the boxes and he like gave the recount. And there was a thing that he said. He wasn't talking to you. He was talking like about the dream and the boxes and everything. He gave it a lot of details, and it was just the section where he was talking about the gods and how he how SummerSong / him just almost instantly removed you and Sharp. Sharp's reasoning being that Sharp was of the material plane and not attached to a they didn't feel like they were attached to a more divine power. It was a very intrinsic Sharp is just a bad bitch kind of vibe. And then your thing was that there was something else there, but it wasn't celestial. It was opposite. And that is a thing that just it's in your brain because SummerSong is a weird dude. You don't know much about him because you don't care about religion, but you've been with a Mormon who's like, let me tell you about my God. And you also just love people talking because they tell you too much.
Too much all the time, yeah.
But you also listen. You're like, get that Sharp thing of you've learned from these questions you're asking, like an intelligent person would do, but also because you're scary. You you are, hold on, I need this. You're thinking about that weirdness of what does that mean, because in a arcane scientific type of way, that's how you view magic. As much as you're a hippie, you're also a scientist. You're I could make meth in my backyard because I know the basic things and I can regrow those. I can make organic meth is the vibe you have, but with magic.
I don't for now.
I don't do that. I have devils for that. But I don't do it. You think about opposite of celestial is infernal. And sure, your mom is a bitch. Big old biggity bitch. But you would never really say infernal, and you know she's a hag. Hags are fae creatures. They are from the fae. This is their thing. Not infernal. And for him to say opposite of celestial for a guy who does not add fluff, and he's adding inverters, everything he says has some purpose. Your brain has been stuck on that for days. The only thing more annoying than the giggling is this thought that you just cannot get out. I would love a insight check from you.
Insight.
And unfortunately you do have a disadvantage because you do have 1 level of exhaustion. I'm not getting no sleep.
That's 19 at disadvantage.
Ooh. I think your brain is there's something missing. You're thinking about all the things that you know about yourself, and you're dang, most of that was wrong. You also realize you don't really know much about Auntie BB. Truly, you're okay, you're a hag. Then you're has some relation, she's got this deal with hell, you assume. You're okay, you're doing this weird soul bargaining. And then you talk to Yumi, who is your plant in hell, which, what are the chances you have a plant in hell to get information from hell about the things going on? Right. You'd have to be wild to think of that in that way, particularly because no one trades information for free in hell. Anyways, right. You truly know what to do it anywhere ever, because it's a scam, as the Fae will teach you. Sign them contracts and read all the words. But Yumi also mentioned that there was in the 5th level, the what's his name is not Leviticus. That's from the Bible. It's Levi. It starts the Levit.
Maybe Leviathan? I don't know.
Not Leviathan. It's like
another Bible thing.
Leviticus or something. We're gonna call him Levi because I'm dyslexic and I can't read.
Okay,
Levi, the leader of Stygia, one of the code levels of hell. There are 2, and you guessed one of them, which is wild. Okay, but we'll just say T for you. They said, and also a person who is always has lots of bite but does not lie. They are cunty and they use the truth as their weapon because it's easier than like making up lies. They're like, I'd rather just grill you with the truth. They said, in relation to the primordial princes, sending out your kids when you can't go. And you've never really thought about, like, you know how a hag is born, because you learn that a hag is born by a hag eating a baby. And you're like, okay, great. You don't really think about like your parent being born. It's not a thing you really like ever care to conceive in your brain. But then you're like, huh, well, her mom is Baba Yaga. You met her sisters. Who are the dads of these hags? Your brain starts to wonder. It's like, huh. And then you think about your existence as this pet project, this piece of other things. It's like, oh, but then it's like, sure, mom could be smart, but sometimes you just gotta go with what you know. What are the chances that Auntie Bibi's mom is a hag and her dad's an archdevil of hell?
Devil, yeah, casually.
What are the chances that is why she was able to pull a sliver of hell to this place and why she's sending souls back to hell to produce this thing? And then you think about the fact that her biggest moment of contention is that she cannot sit on the court of winter. Why? Because she does not have the birthright. And you thought it was because she was a hag, but not just a hag from hell. And a person from hell cannot sit on the throne. And in your brain, you then think, what does she want more than anything else? I would love another insight check with disadvantage.
That would be a 14.
And you're like, oh, it's like in your brain somewhere. You're like, oh, I feel like if I just keep running down this pathway, when I get to this point again, I'll like have a breakthrough. And you're like thinking about it. You're like trying not to say anything. Then you start to like verbalize it, and then you hear in your head, it's not that complicated. You're just stupid.
Why is it always the voices talking shit?
Have you ever tried listening?
Occasionally.
I don't know. I think you should try harder. You're missing what's just right in front of you, and I thought you were the smart one. Oh!
Well, if it's right in front of me, then point it out.
No. I like to watch you suffer. You're supposed to be the top tier pick. You're supposed to be the end all be all. Let's see you do it. Let's see you solve the mystery, sis.
Who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck are you?
You know who I am because you're in my head.
You're right. I do know who you are.
Exactly.
But I don't want to tell you because that's too easy, and I like to watch you squirm. It's actually, I like to feel you squirm. It's funny.
So you're like actually inside me.
I'd say that.
Well, then how are you feeling me squirm?
I don't know. Maybe I just feel things all around.
I doubt that. Bitches like you in my head don't typically feel things.
They start to just do the little kid thing and like just repeating things you say. Just like, like, just like, I'm not touching you. Like, it's just like the most childish. Like, it feels very much like you have a sibling who's in your head, who's taunting you, who's just like, just wants to like, it's trying to rile you up. And it is working because also you are on at this point like 15 hours of no sleep, and you know this voice, the one that is talking to you, is the one that is laughing because it is the same intonation as the voice, and it has this like artificial and incessant cheer to it, and you just know that like they are trying to piss you off, and you are even more mad because it's working so well.
Yeah.
And it's like, and
fact.
every time you try to do something to deflect, they are right there. They're like, and so it's just taunting
Deflection
you
Central over here.
and tormenting you. But that was a beautiful journey you made there. We stopped on Infernal. Let me make sure anything else I got for you.
Oh my god, I'm a devil baby.
Oh, you're a devil baby.
I know.
Actually, you're not. You can't be. That's too easy. What does she want? What does she want? We know. And if you want to know, you should come talk to us tonight after you make your little Temple of the Gods. We'll be waiting outside, and you should come chat. If you want answers, of course. If not, then you can just figure it out yourself. But we see how that's gone.
Well, first off, I don't make the temple. I just sleep in it.
We
Second off,
know.
maybe.
Okay.
Well, respect the frog. Put some respect on his name.
No. What's he gonna do?
You.
Smite me? What's he gonna do? Tell his god, and then I'll have to wait for it? Ooh, that's so scary.
No, I relate to that reaction. And he doesn't really kill a lot, so I can't say much in that regard.
Yeah, you know,
Well, I was
everyone
nice.
has the things they're good at, and sometimes you have to look really, 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 really hard to find those things. And even then, it's like, oh, that's it? Yikes. But, you know, at least you have something. Like, go frog. Some people need, like, God on their side to feel like what they do matters, and some of us just do things that matter. So, like, whatevs.
Like I said, I'm not stopping any of this hate. I'm not minding it. He doesn't get a lot of it actually, so like it's kind of nice to hear sometimes.
Yeah, some people just never really hear what's going on around them. They just live in these weird bubbles. You wouldn't know anything about that. Oh, that's crazy.
That's all I know.
I love this bonding time we're having. You're so fun.
I know this kind of started out catty, and now look at us.
Oh, it's still catty.
Oh, I know. I'm aware of that.
You can feel a like. It's almost like a.
I'm easing into the psychosis a little bit.
It's like there's like a physical itch like in your head. You're like, you know, kind of like when you get one of those like I need to like get that scratch. It's kind of like one of those locations like itches, and you're like, you can just feel, and you just know that somewhere there's a little tiny person just scratching inside your head, and it's making you like. But you are actively doing that, and the people in the party with you are confused while you're bitching and also snorting. So like it's this game of like she's being nice to you, but also she's making you do weird things, and you're like, fuck.
I've also been audibly saying everything out loud.
Yes, you have. And speaking of audibly saying things out loud, tidbit, you've been hearing lots of weird things, but you have more pressing matters. You're trying to craft spells to seek vengeance. You're thinking about Syndra and Fazan, who like you recently saw in a dream. Also, why did you see Syndra and Fazan in a dream? That was weird. It makes sense why you would see Syndra in a dream. And also Fazan. That actually is not the weird thing.
It's Fazan.
The long red-haired member of the tribunal who was talking to Desiree.
Yes.
I think that would be weird to you that this person of demeanor level status is talking to someone in the nicest way possible of Desiree's status. You're like, oh, why do you know them? Like, I run in these circles, and why do you know? Okay, crazy. But you remember seeing Syndra, who was asking for help and was doing the whole pretending to be a like statue because everyone else was actually like in this weird trance thing, and she was like, "Get to Statue City and help me out because the fuck's going on." Also, where have you been, little bitch? So there's a lot of like weird vibes there. And then Fazan, you saw but didn't speak to, but then you did send her the message, and you were like, "I'm gonna be queen," and she was like, "Okay, I'll see you in the city." Future queen? Question mark.
That's right.
So you think about the things that await you in Statue City, your party member, and also this potential employer or colleague, if you're queen and they're on the tribunal, like, are you equals? Like, it's hard to tell. That runs through your brain. And then also the most recent thought that kind of stems into or attaches onto this training you've been in is the fact that you remember that Summer Song was a person, which is weird because of the gods that exist, at least the way you know them. Summer Song's the only one that has been a person and then ascended to godhood. And you're like, oh, what did he do as a person? All your information on him is religious. So I would love for you to make me a history check with advantage.
Ooh, advantage.
Somebody's got smut books on this. You need some fate history? We've got it for you in the sexy portal. Smut it up.
Yes. That's history?
Yeah.
Okay. That is going to be a 23.
Ooh, yes. And you have this book on Summer Song, and it is not a religious text. You always have read religious texts of Summer Song, which is weird because Summer Song is a newer god. Like, the past couple hundred years are when things about him have started to appear, and it always reads as fanboy literature. It's always like, he did these great things, he did these great things, like, oh, the god of time, oh my god, like, it's crazy. But you never really hear about Summer Song, the person who lived for hundreds of years in his own right before ascending to godhood. And you get this book that Desiree has that does have the biblical version of Summer Song, but it's also one of those weird books where it's like you want to see behind the scenes, and it's like it goes from modern time to past time. So it starts with him as a god, and then you get the second section, and it's like Summer Song, the boy, and it like goes into like the how he was raised in the Kingdom of Symphony, how he was a part of the Summer Songs. You learn in this moment the Summer Songs are a class of people more so than a family name. It is kind of both things. Summer Songs are like a sect. People who are Summer Songs are warriors of the Kingdom of Symphony, and then there are different elements are different things, but the Summer Songs are warriors, which is why he was a bodyguard for Demina, Princess of the Fae, Princess of the Kingdom of Symphony before it's crumbled. That was his job. And so he was a trained warrior. He was a blade singer. He, which is also crazy because they have they use the Song of Creation as part of their battle style, which is a big thing that was in the Kingdom of Symphony. The reason Demina is important is because she is the steward of the last song. She's the last bard of creation. Her magic is the magic that created the Fae itself. So she has songs from the Big Bang. Not that she was there, but like those are passed down through the royal bloodline of the Kingdom of Symphony. And the guards also use part of that song to like fight things. Because while you can make stuff, that's also super cute. But like, can you throw hands when you're at war? You need to have a duality here. And King Celeranda was very much about artistic purpose and also a militaristic self-defense. So if you want to make art and be happy, you better know how to also hold a sword because someone's going to be mad that you make things prettier than them and you got to fight about it at some point. And so the Summer Songs were the bodyguards. You learn that Summer Song, his family, his blood family were also all Summer Songs, which isn't the most common thing. He had two parents and a sister. If you want their names, they're Oro, Varia, and Vaur. That's his dad, his mom, and his little sister. And then his name is Irva. So you can kind of see that Oro and Varia, and then his sister is Vaur, and his name is Irva. They just like have taken their parents' names and mixed them up and then added on Summer Song because in the culture of losing your last name, you want to make sure you know your parents are by having parts of their first name. Cute. But you learn a lot about Summer Song. It was a trained warrior in the Royal Army who then became, after the dragon attack, he took Demina to Onwall, where he dropped her off and felt that was the best place to protect her. And then he kind of had like a religious experience of trying to hunt down Asgrath. He spent 50 years trying to seek vengeance on this dragon who destroyed his people, and he could not find anything in the Fae about it. And one day gave up. Met this girl named Melody who was taking people to a different plane of existence. It was a material plane. He hadn't been there. He was like, well, he can get a fresh start. That seems cool. Hops through a portal with her, and finds out that there is this weird dragon there named Asgrath who's causing a bunch of problems. And it turns out that the moment he let go of vengeance and trying to find Asgrath was handed to him. He spent the next he spent 50 years trying to find him, gave up on it, and then in the span of less than 6 months, accumulated enough power to ascend to godhood and smite Asgarath out of the sky, becoming a god himself, and also gaining the allegiance of his party and all these different people, and another guy named Thrut who became a god at the same time as him. They're the two gods who were born simultaneously. Some call them like the twins because they were both ascended at the same time. You just kind of get like a lot of his season 1 of Silvernell history of his feats in battle, protecting people and doing things that he really did not care about or believe in. But it was because he was trying to achieve a goal that he wanted. So he really wanted to destroy Asgrath. He didn't really want to have to work with Drix and Zeph in the way of like, he just didn't agree with like how they moved through the world mechanically, let's say. And Summer Song is always bitch to you that like in the grumblings of his breath that like if he were there and if he were doing it all himself, he's like, man, we could have taken those 40 fucking dragons. Man, we could have done it. I promise. And it's like an old guy telling you about a wild war story. You're like, yeah, 40 dragons that merged into one. Sure, grandpa. And he's like, I could have fucking done it. And you just get all this like historical information that has been accrued on Summer Song, the man, the elf, not the god, and also one of the few elves in existence because they got splapped from the Asgrath thing. So it is mislabeled as a full-on elven massacre. The elven home base was attacked, but there were some other elves who were around, other Eladrin who had things that they were doing that were around, but the big central hub was attacked. Unlike when the Dragonborn were removed and they were just like removed. So yeah. And also you learn that Summer Song was alive at the same time as Olivine, which is wild in perspective. Olivine was a kid around the same time that Summer Song ascended to godhood.
It's like flipping through this part of the book, and they're just like, I keep seeing this name. I'm gonna have to figure out who this Olivine is one day.
There's no way you don't know who that man is.
Tippett spent 9 years partying, and then on the first day of responsibility was told Olivine's dead and sent through a portal. Tippett's never known.
He's like, I never want to take damage. And like, the guy who's going to beat you up is dead. And you're like, oh my God.
Well,
I was right. I'm never going to take damage. That's crazy.
Olivine was also more of a material plane threat.
Yeah. The threat of Olivine coming to the Fae was always the concept of what if that bad guy comes to the material plane. And that is also a weird thing because like he never came to the Feywild, and people in the Feywild have an idea of why that is, but it also just like a thing that just never happened. And then you find out that he's dead, and it's like, oh, well, dang, his whole school was built around like stopping this guy. We did it for 300 years, and we never met him. Dang. So there's, and you also think about that, and you're like, Olivine's dead. The school's purpose is like kinda up in the air. The queen is dead. And there's a bunch of people in power who are like trying to figure out what they want to do. And you're like, ooh, that's a lot of unallocated and up for grabs power in a like structural and foundational way. Not just, oh, I can like throw fireballs. Oh, I can like set history like type energy is like up for grabs with the queen dead, and also like with the beacon of good dead, and also the beacon of evil also gone. It's like, well, who's to stop anyone from doing anything now? Because at least I'm not as bad as, or it's like I'm trying to be like, and it's like, oh, and those kind of things run through your head with that 20 insight. You're just like, oh, the implications are
The
unfortunate.
quiet whisper comes out of Tidbit's lips like, should I be both of them? No,
Get
that's
that-
silly. That's
That Sylvie duality. I will be the bad guy and the good guy.
I think that's a bit too much for this frog.
Hey, you know, with a party like this, you just be like, hey, so we're gonna be the good guys, you guys be the bad guys, and you just build political parties right now. It's like, hey, if you're the bad and we're the good, we'll just let me
Sharp
not.
was looking for a change in employment, and I can always outsource evil to save costs. This might could work.
Their ideas. And as that happens, you all are getting around to the new summoning of the Temple of the Gods. And Desiree will note that those two burn spots are still there. They are there as a of the remembrance for our friend Tidbit, who had those hot guns, and you just see those seared marks are still there.
You can
Tanner,
totally change rooms. I'm sorry.
or Sylvie rather. The voice in your head continues to plague and torment you. Do you take it up on its offer to meet him outside at the club? To catch him outside? How about that?
Yeah, I'll go outside. Once everyone's like down and out, I'm also out the door because I'm like, catch these hands. I've been saving this.
Perfect. Andrew, you go to bed?
Yeah, I'm gonna meld into stone and just sleep that way.
Yeah, the most peaceful sleep you're about to get the whole
Yeah.
time.
It's 8 hours. It's 8 hours. May as
It's a
well,
good.
you know.
This is good.
Sleep like a
Desiree.
rock.
Shut up.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep.
Desiree goes to sleep. Sharp, where do you plant yourself as you're doing your sentry watch?
Uh, in the pond, but not in Tidbit's room. Like kind of at the bottom of the pond, just like thinking.
Gotcha. And Tidbit, where do you find yourself?
I'll be down at the room just after I lock up those doors. You know.
You Sylvie, you know, think everyone is asleep and you start to head outside the door. Make me a stealth check.
18?
You are working at being really quietly. You know, you don't walk very hard or loud. But you are muttering to yourself as this voice is. The only way you know to respond to the voice is out loud, which is also a problem you're having. Like when you speak telepathically, when people have spoken telepathically to you, and they want it to be secret, it is, you know, it goes both ways. Like, oh, I could just talk in your head. You're realizing this person wants you to look crazy because they speak in your head, but you speak out loud. And so you kind of you mutter, but the water is still, and you just kind of like head on outside. Tidbit, you are going to lock up, and you catch the trail end of your muttering friend heading outside. Do you follow?
Yeah, but I'll throw a rock in the pond first.
To get sharp, or just to throw it?
I think for luck.
Oh, okay, great. Sure, and just hope this works out. Perfect. Make me a stealth check. Just you know, it's just like how quietly you move a tiny squashy frog fresh out of a pool. You know.
9.
Ooh, perfect. Sylvie,
I open the door under the pool.
you head outside, Sylvie, and you get out there. You kind of like look around. You kind of like there's nothing happening at first, and the voice in your head is still like kind of giving you the it's not saying anything in particular, just giving you childlike noises. Make me
Figure.
what's your passive perception?
Oh, that's not good. It's a 12.
Make me a perception check. You were so quick. It's not good. Copy that.
That'll be a 9.
You.
I'm not perceptive.
Yeah, you see something in the woods, and it's kind of like, what is that? And you hear the voice in your head. Oh, we've been waiting for you, and you see that there's a blurry image that is, it's small and it's flying, and if it's like you need to wear glasses and you've taken them off and you're like, oh, my glasses, where are my glasses? You feel that energy. You're like, man, but you're like in your drunken haze. You're like, man, that one looks like that looks like a little fairy. That one right there, and then that one is red and got long black hair. Sure, but you're like you see these those two like images, and you hear in your head, oh, we've been waiting for you, and you feel, let's say, like a fly exiting your ear as this being kind of floops out of your ear and lands over by its friend and turns to a no longer tiny sized creature and is full form. You see a how versed are you? You're blind at this point, but how versed are you on like hag lore? You know hags exist, but also a thing that you would know about hags is hag is not it's not like an end all be all qualifier. There's always like a hag. It's something kind of hag. Everyone has a thing they do. How versed is Sylvie in hag culture?
Haggery? I mean, I would say probably not much, considering it was, a lie to me my entire life that I was one up until not long ago.
True. I will say it is an arcane type of hags are like an arcane kind of thing, and it is an affinity to magic. So on some level, you can make me an arcana check.
I'm assuming like different types and schools of magic. There's different school of haggery.
Yes.
What do you want? Arcana?
Arcana, please.
Okay. That would be a 19.
Oh, yeah. A night hag. It's that thing leaves your head, and in that moment, you're like, they are known for mind games and truly like getting in your head and driving you insane, and then typically sucking the magical essence out of your body to fuel their future magics, which luckily didn't happen to you. This one was just being a bitch, which weird to you. Why are they being a bitch? I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
That wasn't even why I was concerned.
I know.
It was weird they didn't kill me,
Which, there's sometimes.
Okay, so I rolled a nat 20 and a 17. What am I adding to it? Constitution? So a 26.
Ooh. You feel in your heart of hearts, you don't need to roll anything. Someone tried to spell you in some way, which is offensive in itself, but then you get this rush, like not like a coke line rush, but like a menthol rush. It's like, woo, as you feel this rush of what you can only imagine is the effects of coven magic. As you need to make the spell save again, and this time Tibbet is walking outside, and I need Tibbet to make me a perception check. You do that, and then not with disadvantage for the perception check, but with disadvantage. You're making a disadvantage anyway because you got exhaustion. So.
Yeah. I know you're not going to believe me, but I rolled a 20 and an 18.
Ooh.
So it went up to a 27. I'm really disappointed that I can't use these nat 20s. That crushes me. But also, like,
and
a good roll.
yes, no, very good roll.
Tidbit
Tidbit.
got
Ooh.
24 on the perception.
Oh, Tidbit, I love you. And your eyes are not your friend today. You see something that truly your mind cannot wrap its head around. This may not be bad for you, but I need a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage. As the thing that you see does some, like, looking at it is just like hurts your soul. You're like, I've seen ugly, and this is mentally offensive at the fact you look like this. And Tanner,
I can only hear my heart beating, and it's scaring me.
I got an 18 on the wisdom save.
I don't think it wants to attack you. Oh, but it so does. It's mad now. I'll address the wisdom save. That's easier. Mhm. You look over at you see Sylvie standing in the brush, or standing outside, and then you see these three figures, one tiny, like one small and floating, and then one that is red, and then the one that is small and floating, that image shifts almost like a mirror is kind of moving, and you see something that is like, you can, it's so ugly that I can't describe it. It makes you, it's so ugly that looking at it, you take like damage from that. It hurts your brain to look at it. That is the ugliness of it. But also it hurts so bad that you look at it and you full pass out. You go incapacitated looking at this thing. It's like you fail a save, you see it, and you're like, ah! And you just like frog like stiffen and fall over as you've seen something horrid. You've seen confounding ugliness as the ability is spelled out. And as that happens, Tanner, you see these three no, yeah, you know the hags now. You see these three hags lunge at you. Except one lunges past you. The one that is a tiny one that your eyes now clear up and you see looks like you're looking in a mirror. It looks just like you as it darts past you and runs for Tidbit, and like is like puts themselves on them in a way of like they are playing the part of my friend is hurt. They like run over and like, oh no, like, and they like throw their body on top of them as if they're trying to protect
Absolutely
you.
not. I'm
as
stopping that bitch from going the fuck past me. Like, that's not a thing. You're not getting that fucking frog. I'll attack if that's like the case. Stop a bitch.
You can choose. You got the attack. You can choose to attack the one that is passing you, but you also recognize the other two hags are not running past you. They are coming directly at you, and they seem to have the intention to hurt. The one that is moving it to Tidbit confuses you because you don't smell the intention of malice there. It's like you see it run at you, and it's confusing that it goes past you, and then it jumps on him, and it's like, no, stop, as if you've attacked him and Tidbit, and it's like, stop, but also it looks like you. So it's you protecting Tidbit from you and these two hags in this moment of being like, ah, and
It's just
that
me
is
fighting myself.
yes, which is what is being painted there. And then yes, so you can choose who you attack there. I would not limit that. I just want you to be clear about the onslaught that was coming at you.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
It is trying to protect Tidbit or
Definitely.
protect yourself from.
Yeah, I'm stopping me from going after Tidbit, essentially. So I'm going to, because of my shield, I can Empiric Touch. I can like do a spell as an opportunity attack. It's a touch spell. So I'm gonna like just grab me and try to suck the life out of me.
That's to hit. All right. Material touch.
Yeah. So it's only. Oh yeah, because I'm rolling at disadvantage. That's a 12.
You miss, and they scream out, "Stop attacking me, you crazy freak!" And that is all they. This reaction to your.
I wouldn't even say
them.
that.
You say out loud, and do you say that out loud?
Yeah.
You see that they look like a scared child protecting their mother. Like that is the energy it's giving, right? And then you say, "I wouldn't even do that," and they stop. You see them break a character, take the note, and then go back to the scene. They're like, oh, and then like they've shifted as they've taken a note from the source material. Got it. You wouldn't do that. And your brain is like, you playing me?
Yeah,
Weird.
that's what's happening in front of me. You're playing me in front of me. An attacking
You
little tidbit.
yes. You feel a is this safe? As they run at you, one the red hag looks out at you and is going to make you make a. She loves con saves. Con save,
I'm at least good at those.
and the other one is hitting you with
Not that one. That'll be a 13 for that save.
She looks out at you, or she's kind of near you, and you look at her and you're like, hags aren't hot. This is a thing you know about hags, right? Red
I've
skin, black
seen.
hair, pretty. Which is also weird. Things that are like just so you're clocking things in your brain. She's pretty. She looks at you like she's going to like attack you like a smack, and then she like looks almost like she wants to ask you to buy her a drink. You fail that save, and she like sucks magic out of you, and it feels like your spell slots are being drained, but you feel like it is capping you cannot accrue magic. This thing is pulling magic out of you to the point where you can't build it, and it's just like it feels very not a battery but a drainer or a siphon as you're being sucked dry, and then you feel another spell that requires no save as someone dispels magic on you, but you can tell in this moment as you feel that it is not just a dispel magic. You once again feel that covetousness in it as a lock forms on that spell power you have there, and one takes you to 0, one stops it, and the other one is just amplifying it as they lay on top of Tidbit, like screaming, and you feel as that magic drains out of you, it's like, oh, you can't feel the weave, you can't feel magic. It's like your body's kind of going to sleep, and they catch you. The one gets tiny again and floats into your head. Oh, sis, we've missed you. We'll have a good time. And they float off with you, and Tibbet wakes up to see a scared Sylvie who tells him, oh, we got attacked by these crazy hags. We need to get back inside, and rushes him back inside. And we will see you all next week on the Adventures in Silvernell, where I'll be playing Sylvie. It's me.
Hey,
I'm
Michael?
the bad guy. Yes. There's a save, right?
They can't go inside.
Yeah, I gotta make the charisma save.
No, only the people that I designate can open the doors. So if you try, you blow your cover immediately.
But then we tried that with the Sylvie before, and she got through with the I believe in this God, and she lied through it.
And I made the save.
I think that was a situational Fey effect. Well, whatever. We can look into it, but
Hey,
you
okay,
might
no
have
worries.
got.
I got you. We'll stop there, and I can go and looking at it. I think I'm good based on what I know, but we can handle that after we come back. No worries. Yes. Next week, same time, same place, one less person. Meh. Meh.
Bye.
Bye.
Meh. That's all I got. Meh.